Hello, everyone. Good morning and good evening to all my friends across the globe. Today, I'm going to share one of the biggest negative beliefs which I had in my life and which was affecting almost all the relationships. So, this video is continuation to the previous videos which I released since 3 days. And if you wish to understand where is this video coming from or why am I talking about this, please go and watch my previous videos as well. Now, to introduce myself, I'm Poonam Sharma. I'm a life and mindset coach. I'm a healer. I'm an author and also a social worker. Now, coming to the second negative belief which I had uh, was I will not tell the belief here, but I will start this how, where this is deeply rooted from, where this negative belief is rooted from, how it affected all my relationships, right? Now, when we talk in terms of relationships, it is always two sides. It is, I have to give my 100% to make sure the relationship is going well, and the other person also has to do the same thing, and it applies to both professional and personal relationships. Now, when I started working back uh, 10 years back in Cognizant, I was not aware that this was one of my negative beliefs which I had, which I wouldn't say negative belief here because I was not aware that it was a belief which caused me, caused this trait in me, right? Now, there were many situations in office where I would, not take a moment to understand or where the other person is coming from or what is he thinking in professional life, like my bosses, or if there was any comment which was passed on me, or if they would say something about me which I felt was not which was crossing my physical or emotional boundary or mental brown boundary, I would react. And I was not aware that I was actually rude and I was reacting in that particular situation. And it started affecting my relationship with the colleagues, with my bosses. Overall, I was the most energetic person in the group, and people would allow me to be who I was completely. And I was so thankful to all my colleagues there, who all my friends who became, who my colleagues who became my friends. But there was one point where I was constantly reacting on, small things, and it started showing up. And I thank my mentor, who called me one day. His name is Rajkumar Chellapan, and he was director then in Cognizant for our project. So he called me and he said, you have to work towards this trait which you have, that you react instantly without thinking what the consequences would be. You have to consciously work on it, Poonam. And I was hit back by that because I never thought I had this negative trait, right? We all live in this I lived in a zone that, no matter what I am, I'm doing my best in the work environment, and everybody loves me and everybody, accepts me as I am. But that started affecting my work and my work relationships. And the moment he told me that I have to be conscious about how I react, I started being conscious. Okay. I understood that I was reactive in most of the situations, not only in professional, but I also started, putting conscious effort in my personal relationships as well, with my friends, with my family, with everyone around me. I worked on it. I was consciously working on it. So there was a point where I understood, okay, I have to not react, maybe respond to situations. But I was not completely out of it, right? Now it went on. People who were very close to me accepted me because they all love me, and they said, okay, this is one of the traits which she has, but there are other positive things also which we need to accept, right? So it all continued. But this particular negative trait in me, started showing up more when I got married. So when I got married, I came to my in-laws place. There are a few expectations from a daughter-in-law, right? Basic expectations that she has to wear certain way, and she has to behave in a certain way. basic things which every Indian household, newly married woman goes through. But for me, it was it was coming from a very different place, that I started reacting to every situation which was happening in the house, and that started affecting all my relationships. At a professional level, it was different because my work was speaking more than my, my reactive mode, or how I was reacting. But at a personal level, when until I was at my parents house, it was different, right? They understand you better and they accept you as you are, and they just let go of all these small things which they feel it, it's okay, because you are their daughter and they're your siblings, so they accept you as they are. But for in a new relationship where I was forming with my husband, with my mother-in-law, with my father-in-law, with my sister-in-law, it was completely different. And I, with unknowingly, right, I used to react every time for every small situation, and I used to be in this guilt mode of, why am I reacting? I'm not this person who, who would react to such simple thing. And when you react in a new relationship, they're not aware of where is this coming from. Even I was not aware of where this is deeply rooted. Why am I reacting to every situation? So how would I expect them to, understand this negative trait in me? Now days passed by, and they started accepting me, I started accepting. I constantly worked on my mindset, but somewhere I knew that I'm not working on it at a root cause level. There were on and off, episodes which were happening. But being a matured human being, they and me, both of us worked together, and there was no, bigger issues as such to deal with my in-laws or with my husband. But I knew deep down that it is affecting me at an emotional level, because I'm not the person whom am I showcasing to them, right? There is something in me which is stopping me to be the best person I can be with them, right? So again, when I started working on my self transformation journey, the thing which I realized, I did reverse analysis of why I react to situations where I feel my emotional boundary, or my physical boundary, or my, mental boundary is being crossed by people. I went to, my teenage, then I went to my childhood. There's a process which we do, and when I went to my childhood, I realized that during the age of 3 and 5, I was physically, molested, sexually abused by two people who were very close to me, who were very close to my family, whom, you might not even imagine that, okay, they could do this to a little girl who is just 3 and 5. Now, I was not aware of what was happening during that age, right? 3 and 5 is the age where we are not aware of what happens with us. But those stayed with me unknowingly. I was not aware, but they stayed with me. Now, when I reached an age where, I started understanding the things which were happening, like, 16 and 70, where your body grows, your mind grows, your hormones are changing. I try to understand that, oh, this happened to me when I was 3 and 5. And that is when I decided, I formed this belief for my own self, that no matter what, Poonam, if somebody is crossing your physical boundary, if somebody is crossing your emotional boundary, if somebody is crossing your mental boundary, you have to react. You don't have to respond, you have to react. Because at 3, when you were at 3, you did not react to the situation which happened to you. And that is why at 5 it repeated. So I started blaming myself for something which happened at 3 and 5, which even I was not aware of. What did I do? I, at my subconscious mind, I told myself that it is because of you who did not react to that particular situation. The same situation arose in your life, and it happened again. Now, that's at tender age, right? 17, 16. whatever belief I formed, I carried through it. And whenever I saw somebody crossing my physical boundary or emotional boundary, something in me popped up and said, why are you not reacting? It's time to react, not respond. So just react. No matter what, who is in front of you, you have to react. So what did I do? I chose to react. I chose to react with my bosses. I chose to react with my colleagues. I chose to react in RTC buses where I would travel, and I would see that somebody is unknowingly, just rubbing my shoulder and moving. And I used to react in a way that, something huge happened. I used to stop the bus, so for my education, I traveled every day for 4 hours. I used to live in a village, and I had to, go to a city to get educated. So these things, small things would happen every day, and I would react in a way that, I'm just filing a police complaint for somebody just crossing, touching my shoulder unknowingly even. Leave about the, people who try to take advantage in local buses and stuff. They would see the worst. They would see me hitting them when I was not even 22, 23. I used to hit men. Yeah, I was in that anger and frustration that, how come somebody can cross this physical boundary, how they can cross emotional boundary of me. I have kept a boundary, right? Now, after, I went back. Now, after, till, like I said, after, before marriage, it was okay. Everything was not getting so, um, it was not getting so affected, right? But after marriage, how would my in-laws know, or how would my, people whom I'm with in new relationship would know that this is the reason why she's reacting. Simple example of, my mother-in-law wanting me to wear a sari, for example, for some occasion. And I didn't want her to be a boss. I didn't want her, where I felt, oh, she's crossing my emotional boundary, right? I took it in that way. Because I want to wear a particular dress, and she's asking me to wear something else for some particular occasion, which is her request. She's not even forcing me. She's requesting me. But my reaction would be so bad that I would end up wearing what she wants to, but I would never be happy around, during that occasion. So it was affecting me emotionally and all my relationships also. So when I understood the reason why and where is this, negative trait coming from, or how I formed this belief, I started working on it. I went back to my childhood and started healing myself from that situation, from that emotion. I went back, in time, and spoke to that person who did wrong with me. I forgave them, and I was above that, right? The moment I understood that it is my emotions which are affecting all my relationships, and it is not serving me any purpose. And all this I could do only with the help of a coach, only with the help of the techniques which I learned for healing. And one of them is the ho'oponopono healing, which I am teaching my students today, where they are able to, go to the triggers which are causing no benefit to them in their life, and they see lot of benefits out of this particular healing sessions. So I would recommend you to, you guys also to get deeper into what are these blockages which are, what are these negative beliefs which you have about yourself. If you're not aware of it, it's okay. Probably you should do reverse analysis, as how I did, taking a particular situation, feeling the emotions of why these emotions are causing me uh, to take a different action which I would never, right? And I did reverse analysis. So you could also probably do that, and if you really need help in doing it, even today, I'm not completely healed, towards that sexual abuse which happened in my life. But since I'm aware of where this negative belief is coming from me, for negative belief is coming from, I know that I don't have to react to every situation. I accept it and I try to respond to the situations. So it is still work in progress, but I'm proud of myself that I identified the cause, at a root level, right? And I'm working on it, and I see a lot of changes after I started implementing what I learned. So if you need help, and if you need a holding hand, don't wait for something big to happen in your life, or don't wait until you fall on your knees. Take action right now. Reach out to a life coach, reach out to someone who can help you, and I am here to help you. And you can reach out to me on different platforms which I mentioned in my description, on FB or Insta, or you can DM me here as well. And I would really, really, like to hold your hand and help you to heal yourself and go to the root cause of different blockages which you have in your life, and be a better version of yourself. Thank you so much. And from tomorrow, I will talk about the most important, um, the habit which I developed, and which I'm using since 10 years, which has helped me, identifying and working on different sections of my life, which has made huge difference in my life at every point of time, right? Dealing with the most painful situations, dealing with the most confused situations of my life. I will talk to you about the habit which I inculcated, and how can you also implement that in your life. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for all your time and all your love. Love you all. See you.